Hi, and welcome back to Daily Thoughts with Mbongs. I'm your host, Mbongeni Yegelo, also goes by Mbongs. On this podcast, I'll be talking about my thoughts on life, wellness, and other things on my mind. And thank you so much for taking your time to listen to my podcast. Hope to leave you feeling a little bit inspired. Now, let's get to today's thought, shall we? Today's thought is grow through what you go through. Firstly, there's so many ways which we can define growth. So this may interpret it differently based on your understanding or your definition of growth. But primarily my main aim is whatever that you go through, find it within it to grow as a person. Perhaps ask yourself, what's the lesson for me through this experience? A few years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and it took me a long time to come to sense with it. Many months later, it came to me as perhaps through this experience, my growth would be to bring hope to those who are also diagnosed. I shared through my social media accounts, primarily Facebook and Instagram. I shared my journey when I was taking the chemotherapy last year. I shared my journey as it happened. That was a way for me to grow, to communicate better, to reach out to the individuals whom may be in the same situation and don't feel they have hope. So I used that experience to grow, to have more empathy, to show more kindness to others. Not that it was any less prior. I've always been, into being kind. But just looking at the situation as what's in it here. I figured to myself, it will be in vain for me to go through that and it being just G, it being just an experience I went through. If anything, for me, it was, I'm gonna use this to help somebody else. I'm gonna use what I'm going through perhaps to make it easier for somebody else. Now, like I said at the beginning, you define growth your way. You know what growth is to you. Perhaps a setback in life, you can use that to evaluate yourself. Perhaps a breakup in a relationship, you could use that to look within and may be able to even find ways where
you could do certain things better. You could communicate better. You could reach out. You could show more appreciation better, and so on. There's always a lesson to be learned. I've always believed that. That's just me. That whatever you go through, there's always a lesson to be learned. And then use that opportunity to learn that lesson and grow from it. And then, of course, it doesn't make the situation any easier. It doesn't make it go away. But I had the feeling that it was worth it. If me going through what I'm going through is going to help the next person, then it was worth it. Because whether or not I shared it, I was diagnosed. Whether or not I shared, I was going to go through chemotherapy. All of that. So sharing it didn't make anything less, but it just made the journey worth it. Because you start feeding off from your approach to situations. If you look at the situation, a setback, and adversity as something to grow from, you start feed off from that. As it happens, you start feeling and start using it to keep you going forward. You start to use your own adversity as a fuel to move you forward, because your approach is to grow through it. Is to find a way that, okay, how can I grow from here? So it won't always be with every adversity, but at least just trying to be in that situation where you use that to grow as a person. You use that to take a step forward. You use that to becoming a better person. To use that to help others perhaps deal with things differently or deal with things a little bit better. So go on and grow through whatever that you're going through.
Once again, thank you so much for listening to today's Daily Thought. I'm your host, Mbongeni Yegelo, and I look forward to engaging with you. So leave a comment, and catch you next time on Daily Thoughts with Mbongs.